We're back in the Big Apple, and it's time for ESL One New York 2018 to continue its journey and its path onward down the slopes, and one might even say a loud, thunderous voice such as myself. My name is Trey Saranthus here on the desk, and I can't help but to get a few laughs out of here when I think about my two colleagues over here and just how cool you guys are. We do, of course, have Thorin and Sponge. Sponge, the Spud Burchill, not having the best of days physically, but it happens, I guess.
I think I look okay. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm pretending I'm not sick. Can I hijack this entire segment, or do you have things you want to do?
Well, it depends.
It's not really hijacking if you ask to do it, is it? And then he gives you permission.
Can we hijack this? Or?
Well, I don't know. So basically, I am fed up of Counter-Strike being an any given Sunday game. I don't want it to be where, you know, anyone can win on any day and beat anybody.
So the final's cancelled on Sunday.
Just close it down.
We're just going to finish on Saturday.
No, the point is, if we're going from tournament to tournament and our champions, the ones that we are trying to build up to be these infallible objects that cannot be destroyed, or that, you know, if you do so, it's such a Titan-esque type of venture, it's just happening too often. Yes. I'm fed up with these underdog stories, and I want right now Liquid to come out and just smack G2 real bloody hard and win this whole event, because I want someone to be good. And I'm mad.
I agree with the first sentiment there. I do think like it is kind of whack that you have teams like Na'Vi, FaZe. They've already lost series here. They're supposed to be these unbeatable Titanic teams. But at the same time, I definitely do not want Team Liquid to just easily win.
Well, they say the one in front of the gun does, in fact, live forever. But this time, it's G2 in the crosshairs. And perhaps at this moment, we do have an opportunity to hear from G2 themselves.
Thank you, Stunner. I'm joined by the coach of G2, Malik. We're just going to first get into kind of what happened yesterday. So you took down FaZe, a very difficult opponent, and G2, you kind of had a team where it's taking you a little bit of time to get things going, but you were looking good yesterday. So what kind of went on? What was the team feeling like? What was the mentality, and just how well prepared were you for FaZe?
We felt good. When I arrived in the team, like maybe a week ago or something, I just told them that they worked a lot the last 3 months. They have a lot of knowledge and they want to do things, but they were like really structured. And I was like, you know, CS, let's make it simple. I know that nowadays you have analysts and plenty of games and crazy things from other teams. And from the outside perspective, it's always look really crazy. But once you are inside, it's just simple things, you know. It's just you have just to synchronize yourself with simple things. So I was like, guys, you are super strong. Just let's play simple and use the individualities and stuff. And we can beat anyone. It's just CS. Come on, we play it since 15 years now. So come on. So that was the thing, and we just did our job. Positivity. We don't mind taking ecos and things. I was like really realistic with that. I said that, guys, we will lose crazy rounds. We will do stupid mistakes. You will miss plays and miss skins and whatever. I don't mind, but we will do good plays also. So we were focused on those things, and it worked out. So let's see today.
Well, you certainly did make things work out yesterday against FaZe. So going into this matchup against Liquid, what was your kind of thought process and preparation from last night until today?
We just used the match of yesterday as the base of what we did this week. And we saw that it worked really well with the mentality and just keeping calm and waiting the moment. And when you have the opportunity, you just take it. And it will be the same today. It's a really strong opponent. They have a really strong map pool. I don't mind. I mean, we will just do what we can do. If we win, we win. If we lose, I don't mind either. It's just a process. We are here since a few days. And as long as we are like giving it all, I don't mind. I want Warriors on the server. If we are playing bad, it's not a big deal. It's how we react about playing bad, which is the matters for me now. So as long as we have this, I'm all good.
I really like them, and I appreciate the deep insight there. Very interesting stuff. G2, they certainly seem ready and a lot more relaxed than what maybe some teams are going into this. Let's see how they do against Liquid. Guys, what do you think about all of that?
Yeah. I'm going to have to quote that man, Malik, right there and actually reinforce my argument from earlier that winning and losing are, in fact, the same thing, Duncan.
Did you actually say that?
That was a quote.
Who are these wild people who are letting make statements like this?
Listen,
of course it matters.
Of course it matters. But what I'm saying is, if you heard that interview, I know you're paying attention, Chad.
Always.
It was definitely something he tried to express in words, and I don't think that he necessarily nailed it, Mark.
Well, I think the sentiment was, as long as we go out there and give it our all, no matter what happens, I'll be happy. If we go out there with the general French attitude where it's very blasé and they don't try getting paid thousands of dollars, I wouldn't be happy with that one. So let's hope that they try. That's all I'm saying.
Would be the epitome of this entire thing, would it not?
Now, the
anyway,
interesting thing here,
let's talk vetoes as they do come up.
On the one hand, I'll give you both sides. If you're Team Liquid, no danger at all in this veto.
100%.
Every single map you like is literally a map that the G2 guys are willing to play. Now, G2 has gambled here because they've actually banned Mirage because that's one of the strongest Liquid maps. And it's actually a map they've never particularly liked. And the reason they've been able to do it themselves is because also the same maps that they don't want to play are the maps that Team Liquid doesn't want to play. So, so far, if you're Team Liquid, you're loving this. Like, you are basically unbeaten on cash recently. Inferno was your favorite map anyway. But if you're G2, you also like that. Now, interestingly enough, since Team Liquid opted for the Dust 2 ban, because they don't need to ban Train or Overpass, in theory, they're hoping, obviously, at this point in time, that for the decider, I think actually both teams would be willing to play Nuke, which I think would be pretty sexy.
Well, here's the thing. If you just look at the stats for this G2 roster, we don't have a lot of games, right? The majority of the matches they've played, they've actually lost. I think it's just over 30 games. They've only played Nuke in one official, and they lost to Australia 16-4. So
I think it's 16-14.
It's at, well, 16-4 it says right here.
Maybe that's online.
Yeah, this is during the best of 3 that was ESL One Cologne. So they had just come together, right? Okay. They had just come together as a roster in that regard. So maybe it's a map that they've been working on, but it just feels like you're saying, if it comes through as the third, it'll be a surprise because we won't really know what G2 have to offer, right? That's one of the dramas here that Liquid could find themselves falling into. But
it's because what's happened at the moment is both teams, you very rarely get this, sadly, because people who have permabans literally don't ever want to face that map.
Yeah.
Both teams have elected to avoid their permabans and just said, well, the other team's not going to dare pick, for example, Overpass is not going to be the pick of G2.
Yeah.
Likewise, Team Liquid probably not going to pick Train. So we can go ahead and take these maps out and just take a stronger map out first.
The last time I remember Existence doing this, he lost to some guy on Mirage at ESL One Cologne 2015, I think it was.
The game. So anyway, back to the important tournaments.
Yep, things that never
They've
happened.
taken a while now, though. Look how long they're thinking.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. Is they're probably discussing something along the lines of what you've said, which is that, here's the thing. You look at the recent record for Liquid on Nuke, not great. But that's because they are playing Team Liquid, Astralis every single time. So I actually think, personally, they're totally fine on this map. Yeah, we're going to have Overpass. Now, I have to say, neither team wants this map. Like, they've just gone to it because of what was left, because they both took the ballsy initial gamble on the maps that they didn't want to see
played. I feel like Existence got the better edge of that deal, though, in the sense of he forced, the hand there to not be like,
have been
well,
possible.
if you don't want to play Train, you're going to have to ban it, so you can have Overpass instead.
This is an example of where Team Liquid has actually outplayed themselves in the veto. Because in this veto, they had about 5 maps that could come through that they're fine playing.
Sure.
But because they picked Inferno directly, they didn't think to themselves, what's left? Like, there's nothing that's left that Existence wants to play, so they could have had the decider as Inferno as well.
Well, we are absolutely going to be playing cash between G2 and Liquid, and we're going to see if this American-Canadian side can prevail here. To do that, though, will be Pansy and Machine bringing you the action, so let's just dive right into it.
You know what, Alex? I am happy to be seeing a bit of cash, a bit of Inferno,
Hell
Overpass.
yes.
We haven't seen too much of these maps just yet, at least in this tournament.
No, I'm certainly not
For
complaining.
us.
For us, personally.
So bring it on. I love a bit of this.
Yeah, this is great, and I love that we get to see G2 on cash. I mean, the analysts have covered it perfectly. Of course, a bit of a slip up from Liquid, knowing that it was likely we'd have seen Inferno one way or the other, but still. Getting to see cash, it's one of the few maps G2 really can do damage on. I know it sounds strange to say, but they haven't been looking fantastic, and a nice interview from Banks as well, which gives us the insight to know that they're taking things a bit more loose, a little bit more relaxed, and
Triggered Chad.
Chad
Which was my
didn't like
favorite
that
part.
one.
You're getting paid.
Okay, so we're grouped towards A. It's Taco's been there for a while.
The thing I want to point out here, Alex, is that double stack towards quad side. The Kenny S. Smith's combo there is going to be really nice to work off each other. That could be really good fun. Existence spotting for it too. This is quite a heavy presence towards A coming out from G2. If you're going to be in a good spot for it, this is it. This is the best you can do. Shox should be able to linger around, roam around where he feels, but it should be go time right about now. Let's see if they can actually make this count. Taco just takes...
Oh,
they had it all, and they
it's
had
over.
nothing.
That's actually so insane. They had 2 players set up in a crossfire. You had to take 2 minimum, and it's just Taco. 2 clicks of his mouse, and the round should be over. should being the operative word. Body and Shock still in this one. They're going to be boosting. This is always seen as quite the gamble, but the fact that there's 3 on the after ramp means that they can get away with it, or can they? Body predicted it. Spectacular work from him. G2 forging away in. Shocked has found a frag. It was supposed to be impossible, but certainly not for the French. The bomb's not planted for him. He's going to have to go wide. He knows where they both are. Time is his best friend here. Nitro just planning to play the clock, and he's playing them. What? A turnaround from Nitro. Spectacular. He was cornered, and it was just the clock that forced him to go aggressive. He gets 2 1v1s, wow. 2 quick taps of his Glock, and Liquid take the round, but not as neat and tidily as we anticipated.
No, you had the initial setup looking favourable to G2, and then, all right, swings and roundabouts, it's Liquid who has the upper hand because they had it all going their way, and then suddenly you've got Shocks really coming into a body there. That was wild. What a roller coaster of a pistol round to start with. If that's the caliber of game we're going to see, I'm happy with that. Bring that on.
A solid attempt from the French. Unfortunately for them, Nitro just too damn good.
He had no armor either. He had no longevity. So now the Control does, of course, sit handily with Liquid. They have the guns, they have the utility, they got the armor, they got it all. But there's deagles, there's pistols, and a couple of French players in their way.
Yeah, this should be all good in the hood. Nice quick frags from Naf. He's got themselves first 2, and Twist is going to add a 3rd to the pile. And this is every player we switch to from the G2 POV has had their head blasted off. And Taco doing a bunny impression. Takes down Smiths with the newest addition to the Counter-Strike arsenal, the MP5. 2 of them now, Taco and Liege rocking it.
I like it. It's cool for like that fast pace.
One more round for G2 before they can really put up a fight.
Yes.
It's going to be just a question of maybe, just maybe, running into the AKs as opposed to those SMGs.
Big question here, Alex. Favourite 2 maps to play?
Personally?
Yep.
Mirage Inferno.
Okay. I thought Cash would be one of the 2.
I love one half of Cash.
I see.
I can't do T-side Cash because I can't hit shots like that. There you go. Now
Is that the issue?
That's clearly the issue, yeah.
I'll get the demo for you, mate.
Cheers.
We'll get on it.
Appreciate it.
But this round should be a bit of a, walk in the park. There shouldn't be much resistance. Hard to make it count on this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're all spread out. In fact, 2 of the CTs still on B, Body and Smiths, hoping to catch a lurk. Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that, but admittedly, in their defense, the bomb hasn't gone down, so just hoping to catch a player by surprise. Shots into the head. Naf is such a robot. I know it's just an eco, but it's still 4 frags. And watching him play, honestly, I may sound a little outrageous, but I think Naf and Twists are the 2 best players in North America by a considerable margin. They've reached peaks like no one else. Naf, especially coming into the major, Liquid, of course, perhaps a disappointing exit for them, but he's done nothing but get better. I think his time in Renegades, when he was forced to be a star, really did wonders for him when he became once again humbled in the Team Liquid roster. This is great to see. Already 8 frags from Naf, just 3 rounds in.
All right.
Oh, aggressive from Kenny and punished by a Galil. That's
a huge loss.
Yeah, that's some sodium in the wound.
Yeah, that's horrible to watch even happening, losing out on such a integral piece early on through aggression. I like the idea of it. The theory's great. You're seeing it on B, but you're playing a risky game against Liquid. But you do have to play your own game. You can't just tame yourself and be scared of the opponents. But I mean, there's a degree of how much you give, right?
It was a hyper-aggressive take from Kenny. Yeah. You'll see where his body is. I don't know if we have enough downtime to just quickly take a look at his body, but it was real pushed up.
Yeah. Little much.
Starting to coerce and coordinate towards the B site. Elijah's responsible for middle. He'll be entering through vents should they commit to this. And to receive them is Body. You can see him setting himself up on the boxes. It does mean that he's safe from that first initial Molotov. Doesn't look like there's going to be a second, so he's still safe for now, but not safe from Elijah's aim. A quick lock. And indeed, locked out of the site now for the CT. Smiths is in T-spawn. Existence is on a site. This is another round for Team Liquid.
Yeah, so far so good. I don't know what to expect from this. I really don't know. Again, we didn't get to see this side of the results coming in. So it's hard to know what G2 we're seeing or what Liquid we're seeing. We got to cast the other game, so...
I took a quick look. NRG took a map off of Team Liquid in overtime.
Yep.
To take us to 3 maps. Liquid won that one. And G2, they impressed with a solid performance. Just make sure nothing crazy is happening. Nope, they're catching the frags. And they managed to perform quite well, G2 versus FaZe Clan. They picked up a 3-map win. It was very, very close. So it was a 16-13 and a 16-14 victory versus FaZe, who are now eliminated from ESL One New York.
It's wild to me already. FaZe is out, and G2 are the ones to do it.
Carrigan took to social media, said he's not in a good place right now. He won't be tweeting for a while. Nico saying sorry for the disappointment. I mean, it was generally just FaZe knows something's wrong. Something's rotten in their orchard.
That's a scary thing, isn't it? You know, you looked at FaZe and it felt like they're so close to being the best in the world.
Bear in mind, ESL One New York last year was the most dominating run we've seen from a team ever, and it was FaZe.
Yeah.
Now they don't even make it to the playoffs.
Which insane changes. That's the beauty of Counter-Strike, right? Into the round we go, however. It's only really Shox who can be a big danger man, if you want to look at it that way. The only one with the rifle. Everyone else a little worse for wear. Evening out the money to around, you know, just above 2K. So it's not the end of the world. They're fine for cash once they do buy in, but this should be 5 potentially coming onto the board for Liquid here.
Yeah, let's find out how this one plays out. Just Shox with a chance, really. They have got the right read. However, I say the right read. Sure, the lead and Taco are there. The bomb is not. Taco's been fantastic from the squeaky door. But, oh, the stack does nothing. Each player from Liquid taking their individual duel and winning it. Shox has arrived with Zem 4 though. Smiths fires off a little warning shot with speed 250 before having to swallow his pride, but it's Shox. It's cash, and I'll say it one more time. It's Shox. But that's Twists, and I'll shut the hell up. 5-0.
Yeah, look at it.
I know, right?
It's so good.
I like the New jerseys from G2. You notice how...
The coloured?
Yeah, we've got the French one and then you've got the Belgian one for existence.
Very cool.
I like that. That's
Very cool. Weren't you one of the people early on to suggest this to teams?
I didn't get a single penny from that. I even the Fnatic guy talked to me. Was like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah, it was a really good idea. Thanks for that." I was like, "Yeah,
cool.
You know, maybe send me a jersey. Give me five.
That'd be
give
nice.
me a £5 quid or something. I don't know.
Your own version of it, just like Naf doing the body.
Here we are.
Big round though.
Aggressive warping from Kenny. You're burning, bro. You're burning. 36 points of health before he even fires a shot. The Molotov has done plenty of handiwork. In fact, Nitro doesn't even have to fire a bullet before cutting that AWPer down to size. His margin for error now low. Shock's responsible for middle, but it does look like Nitro used to be such a beast on Cash. It was his signature map a long time ago. Now he's got the teammates to back him up. That's an angle. Tip of Alicia's head is shown, and Shox, he finds it.
I took a breath there, because it felt like maybe he wasn't, but he did. Now, there's no response yet either from the T side. They've been locked in. They've been kept at bay, which is impressive. No trade frag available. No overextension, though, from the rest of G2 either.
I like that we keep jumping back to Taco's POV, because they know he's there. He's been there for this whole round. 50 seconds of just opening that door, firing, closing the door, firing. And it's kept Kenny here. He hasn't moved since that Molotov about 30 seconds ago, and Taco's presence alone has kept that AWPer entirely nullified. Well, in the meantime, they've navigated to middle. And Elige couldn't quite profit off of that. Now aggression from Shox into A main. The timing is perfect. Goes aggressive. Going to get one low, but not low enough. Nitro does catch him. Now level playing field. 4v4. They're on its way towards A.
Certainly is. Existence and Kenny S have to be the two main forces here. Kenny on the swing. Takes one, but he can't take a second. Did not expect Existence in the same position. So that's boded well for G2. This could be finding the round they need. Naf and Twist on the other side, though. Swing out wide and take the fight. It's down to a 1v2, but time is of the essence, and that's the one thing Twist does not simply have. Body is there, and it's the first on the board for G2 and a needed round as well.
Yeah, Liquid got a little lost there, a little confused. Time just kind of rotting away. Didn't have a chance to materialize too much, but they'll have plenty of cash to have another jab at it. The question is whether or not we'll see Nitro on that AWP. Typically on the T side, they don't rock it as often. In fact, yep, once again, the 5 AKs coming out. It's kind of a luxury for Liquid at times when you just don't need to pull it out. The CT side, we've seen Nitro, he does do some dynamic AWPing, but it's just more of a hold the line. No, not as flamboyant as perhaps Kenny S is going to be here on the CT side of Cash. A stack to mid to B from the French. It's going to work out. A warning shot from Smiths again.
Fake on the flash to try and make him face so they catch it fully. Doesn't actually happen. It baits it in. Ah, that was weird. It was Nitro getting the team kill there. Not the way I expected it, but it has kept the advantage with G2.
Taco gets that shot onto Shock. So a 3v3 in Existence, he can do so much damage here, but Nat's expecting it, and he gets the frag. In the meantime, Kenny, he's moved from A to B, and he's managed to get himself the frag onto Elige. Bomb is loose, yet to be planted. This is that smoke starting to fade. There's a gap as well. And I think Liquid realize that just getting that bomb, recovering it safely, is more than they could possibly have asked for.
Look how quick they go as well. Not stopping for a second. They need to beat Kenny to be able to watch in the cross. Do they have a smoke?
sprint.
No. They've got 2 flashes they can put in, but that's it. So the bomb goes around towards door because it's less likely to be open facing that. Naf, I guess, can just play off plan now the bomb's been actually put down. He can just try and chill out, hold the cross for him.
Planted
This
for main.
isn't bad.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good plant for his teammate. They had the time. It was a bit of a gamble, of course, expecting Kenny had to check middle just a little bit. The not knowing was the pain, and Naf, wow, spectacular, finds his 3rd frag of the round.
Now Smiths, he was the one who had the utility. I thought he could be there quicker, maybe deny some of these angles to check, but Naf now swings. My God, Naf. Maybe you're kind of right.
I'm telling you, man, he's nuts. 13 frags.
I just imagine him doing the face of like just the straight picture that he's got like there, just like doesn't smile, doesn't like blink, just like yep.
He does have that benefit of just he does not show emotion.
No.
And I imagine he does the same with his comms, which is so good. Oh, that was the team kill. Unfortunate, really.
Rough, yeah.
And we get to see those Naf frags. Look at that onto Kenny, and another one on towards that
Go
CT
Naf.
wall. Wow, nice work. And that will be the timeout called. It's time for Existence. It's time for their new coach, of course. They made the announcement recently. We heard him on the mic with Banks earlier. See what Malik's saying. But it does seem like most of the conversation is coming out from Shocks there on the end. Smiths and Shocks having somewhat of a dialogue.
I'm pretty sure they play quite far apart. At least I've seen them on relatively polarizing sides of things at the moment. But I mean, discussion between the two, obviously, Shocks has more than her fair share in in-game leading here.
But the point I was making about Naf was just that I think it's a real benefit to his team to have someone who is so emotionless. It sounds silly. It sounds like an insult. I promise you it's not.
Get Right himself said being an emotional player is one of the hardest things to deal with. When it's good, it's really good. When it's bad, it's the worst thing because you don't bounce back.
Maybe an explanation behind some of Liquid's consistencies. Consistently being beaten by Astralis, that is.
Wow.
That was a jack.
Flame.
Yeah.
Straight flame. I feel uncomfortable.
Look at this. Very retro sandbag stack.
Rolling it back. That's what the discussion was. Right, guys, I've seen this sick tactic. You go to sandbags.
And you kill the guy boost and hope he doesn't just kill you with one bullet.
Yes.
Existence, that P2K, we talked about that earlier. The only one to not have an interest in the USB. And Liquid, they're so methodical, despite knowing that the economy is awkward. Checking every corner, pre-fires, Molotovs, you name it, they're doing it. And this is where they can start searching for info, Lauren. They don't have to rush it. The bomb's nowhere near a site. This is just procedurally clearing corners.
And Nef's position is big. This could...
As a T. Oh no!
Oh no.
It's so backwards! It's
God,
so backwards!
and Naf is so on right now. This aim is... Oh, it's so crisp! Alright, we've got Shocks and we've got Existence left in a 2v4.
The CTs are pushing checkers! Naf's got the... It's just...
The bomb's still by boost. It's not even moved. It was
Fun
a bit
to
weird.
watch, yeah. But I mean, yeah, just an eco. Nothing to get too
No.
upset about.
But
And
topsy-turvy.
that's right, yeah. And the double AWPs are coming out now, so we get to see Kenny and Smiths. Great presence of mind from Naf to expect that. I didn't quite anticipate 3 CTs charging at him through vents.
Yeah.
But presence of mind for 2, good stuff.
Absolutely. 7-1 though, we need to kind of take stock of the
Is
scoreline.
that 3?
What?
Okie dokie. The G2
Where?
esports squad have put all of
Chad
their
angry?
proverbial AWP eggs in one basket. It works. Shocks finds the first.
That's a start. Alright. Again, like I guess I'll doubt it when you get punished for it. I'll pretend that I'm all on board until that point.
Yeah, cool. There'll be masterminds if it works, right?
Exact genius.
And idiots
Changing the game.
if it doesn't.
Oh, close on that. That's going to be Taco on the other side, just being kept humble here, but switcheroo. Back and forth we go. Guess the lower HP makes sense, as assuming that he can operate it as well as Shocks can.
Quite the assumption to make. Putting Shocks on the MP9. He is going to be playing close mid though, so it does certainly complement his weaponry. Liquid haven't had to pull anything crazy out just yet. It's just been very much rinse and repeat. They know Taco's going to be door.
And Twist has found a kill on Smiths here. That's
Twist
a
is
huge
going to
piece
lurk
taken
B.
away.
Yeah.
that means they have to now be very mindful of just them straight playing B. Good play from Shox to try and push up and maybe find information on that. And he's going to hear these steps. Twist, how aware are you? You know this hasn't been watched.
Way.
But I don't know by what margin you'd be aware of this.
Yeah, he's
Not
a
a
dead man walking.
chance. Oh, that was far too close. Spur on the attack now, as they do need to make this count. But look at the HP left on G2. It is minimal.
Yikes. Shox. He's really regretting not finishing that kill cleaner because he could be coming into this 1v2 with 100 HP. Not the case after twists. And a fantastic little 180 brought him down to just 12. Makes this so much more difficult. They are low. And the patience from Shox. He had a great read on Nitro, but quick on the trigger. Brings Liquid's 8th round home. We're into round 10 and already 8 for the North American roster.
Yeah.
This is looking very, very clinical from Team Liquid.
Yes.
Their victory, of course, versus their domestic rivals, NRG, to get them here. And now all they need to do what they've done every single time they head to the Big Apple, get to the playoffs, is maintain this.
Got a tactical target from G2.
Number 2. I'm glad they're using them. I mean,
Well,
I'd rather, it's better than the Gambit
the
situation.
Gambit, yeah. Absolutely. I don't know if the coaching strategy of we know the game, we'll be fine, is going to be discussed here. I just like anything that marginally upsets Chad, like these days. It's like anything that triggers him. You see like the anger building up.
Just listening to the coach talk, you just knew Chad was not going to be happy with that. Just the conversation of stop trying to do fancy things. You guys are good. You've played for years. It's a mindset that I think it has
can
yet.
work,
It's yet to bear fruit though.
No, of course not. I mean,
Got to, it's an ever-evolving game, ever-changing, and if you can't keep up,
well, when was it goes full circle? It just goes back to just.
well, like fashion.
Exactly.
Yeah, soon we'll be
Shoulder
getting
pads
that
everywhere.
shoulder pads out and 80s hair, and Nitro does whip out the AWP on the T side and draws blood onto Body and another onto Shox. This is easy peasy, and some lemons are definitely getting squeezed between Kenny S's butt cheeks because he's under pressure. No, just the one. Shox on the A side. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't really know. I said lemons are being squeezed. Didn't really know where I was going with that. Shoxy boy pushing towards Taco. Apparently it's Taco.
Taco, yeah.
I can't.
You can't do it.
I have to say Taco.
I agree with you. I did this for a while, and then Jason was like, "You realise you're doing it wrong." I think Potter
Jason's
reamed me
American.
out about it as well. I was like,
That's how they say it.
yeah, but
Taco.
Taco.
Do you want to talk about it?
I hate casting with you.
I know.
You say CZ though.
I do,
So, I mean,
exactly. So I'm
how
just
do
a
you-
horrible hybrid.
Exactly.
I'm a
You
mutt.
don't make sense. I'm a mutt. Anyway, we do have a bye coming out for G2, so hopefully they could maybe make an impression now, because 9-1 is a very big scoreline early on for Liquid here. They've won all the right rounds, obviously, and it's put them in the right place for it. But they've been playing, it doesn't look like they're pushed yet. It doesn't feel like there's been that big round where you're like, oh, G2's got this in the bag.
Let's see how this one plays out. 15 for NAF already into round 11. And G2, this is the map where they have to be making an impact. This cannot continue. This form from G2 versus Liquid, it cannot stay this way because this is their map pick. This should be where they make their statement, where they show that they can compete. And now, this is nice. Counter boost. Going to be caught out.
Like
nice
that.
work from G2. That's it. Just small, well thought out plays to give them an early advantage. But here comes Nitro charging into the site. This is where Liquid do their best work. It's just brawling. And they're not looking in the right direction,
Oh,
Lawrence.
it's so good,
God.
Alex. Like, the instant response of pressure, it's so perfectly played between each other. Okay, there's a bit of a scrap. They lose out on that play in middle. All right, let's just batter the hell out of A.
So essentially what G2 have done, Elysia says there's 2 middle. You do the maths. You realize, okay, well, there's probably still 1 B. There's only going to be 2 here. There's 3 of us numbers. And they just throw those numbers at A. Glorious work from Liquid. That was,
Really
you know,
nice.
for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, right?
And it's confident. It's quick, it's well constructed, and it's confident. And that just takes the wind out of G2. It's, you know, you can't get off. And it's Nitro's just pushing straight forward. Look at this. They're all completely
No one
baffled
looked
by
at
everyone
him there.
else.
That was weird. Double digits then. Bit of Kevlar for Shoxy.
Alex, every time it feels like G2 get a bit closer, they do a little something. Money gets pushed right back down.
Looking highly unlikely for the French here, and Liquid know it. They've just got such a clear game plan. They know no money, no need for nades. Just walk in, check your corners, and you trade. And the trades just keep on coming. We are in New York. It's Wall Street here on Cash.
Who's the wolf?
The wolf at the moment is Naf. And that should be, oh, it's glorious. There he is. The wolf feasts again, 3 in the round. And 11-1. Ooh.
That's the noise.
Was that the howl? So he has 18 frags, and if you want to do some prospective numbers, I can give you a shot. 4, 8, 12, 13. Yep. Okay, so 4 players of G2 are 5 frags behind 1 member of Liquid. Maths. I did it again, Lauren. I keep saying I'm bad at maths. I really am. Why do I keep trying to do this to myself?
Next bite of the cherry here is going to be holding on towards B. You have a bit of a lean to begin with. Nitro and Leash still holding map control, but you do have 3 players tending towards this, but there are 2 to greet them from G2. So this is not an unmanned site. This is not going to be an easy walk in the park. You don't have just Kineas bounding towards you and allowing things to happen that you don't expect. This is a bit more of a battle here. So for G2, this is the last kind of call. This is the last chance to dance for them. They need to make it happen now and try and recover a couple of rounds to give them a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, that CT side, this is where you would expect to see them look a little more comfortable. Caught in transition is Smiths. Some of these actions, they don't seem to have too much purpose, as he's going to get Molotov'd out of position. That will be the end of body. Taco, very little sweat on his brow as he's already cut them down to size. The 2B defenders, initial defenders I should say, because already the rotate has been made. Easy for him. They've got so much cash, Lauren. I'm just looking at the numbers.
I didn't even look at their economy because it's just like they're winning with large numbers.
But they're not
alive.
even being tested. I mean, they're all closing in on max money. Then it's not like they're losing these. They're winning these rounds in one-on-ones. Yeah. And I like the Liquid hit the brakes here, Lauren. Notice that the 30 seconds left, they got the first 2 frags on B and just
pause.
The CTs start getting antsy. There's already a rotate from A. Existence went back to check it. Kenny went to middle temporarily. Does seem fortunate for the French, though. They are back on the site as the hit comes in.
Yeah, right place, right time, but that is the right shot from Taco. Taking out Kenny as we leave Shox very much alone. He has to deal with it all. 8 seconds.
No,
Can he maintain the rest of the side coming towards him? That's 4 more seconds. He can't do it all. He tried, but they kept on appearing. They kept on pushing. And simply put, he couldn't deal with it all.
Yikes. 12-1. The French map pick, of course, French and Belgium. Take note of Existence's jersey.
I really like that. These little flares that they put to, give
Look
you...
at it.
I think it looks nice as well. Like
badass.
a yellow jersey is like, it feels a little...
I feel like, unfortunately, you couldn't... Na'Vi kind of dominate the yellow jersey industry.
Yeah.
However, their French ones do look rather reminiscent of those from Team Liquid. In fact, look, that looks like Team Liquid Shox.
Oh,
if you
don't
didn't
say
know,
that. Now I'm going to be confused.
Look at it.
You absolute
A Na'Vi Existence here. Okay, trolling aside.
A curious roster change that happened, but something had to change after the major.
Hey, something has changed. Aggressive CT positioning, Existence. Supported by Kenny. The idea from Kenny here is to draw attention there, back up, and hopefully draw those T's into an exchange that favors Existence. Good to see something changing. In fact, if they continue this, they're going to try and back this up with an actual push. This could be where you don't need to continue the adventure.
Why?
They're really heavily invested on the A main hold. Of course, Taco typically playing door.
And Alex, they've had no pressure or anything towards middle. They've no eyes on middle. That flash shows this is happening. That flash put in is making you instantly look at this. What's the game plan here? Slowly walk out, Elige, the timing, it doesn't even matter.
Taco pulled back. I think Elige said, like, he heard that flash. He says, probably pushing main. Taco comes back. He gets a free frag. Elige is there if they continue to push, which Shox is currently directly beneath him. In fact, he didn't get the memo. That's the bomb.
That is huge as well. That is really, really big work. They don't have control of Squeaky. That might get them nervous. Look at this wrap from Elige. They've left Shox all on his own, but Shox is a big boy player, and you're seeing that right now. He takes out Nitro. Bomb stays loose. It doesn't matter you've got Taco and Elige there. They still have to get that bomb or find all these players.
Nice work from Smith. It's no coincidence that you see G2's first CT round in what feels like forever, coming from some initiative taken, albeit a little gambly, a little risky, works.
Yeah.
And G2 find the second. They need the third as well here. And no questions about Liquid's economy. It's not even a conversation for G2. It's all about their own.
Now, wealthy boys on the Liquid side. Good purchase though for G2, and I like the initiative. That aggression was good. It was well placed. We saw them toying with the idea of aggression before it didn't go well, but I wonder if there's a switch up now from Liquid. It looks like there might be.
Yeah, Nitro's pushed on the other side of the smoke and catches shots. He's taken control of middle, at least short term, because Existence is back. Makes Nitro's condition. Terminal, Elise, nice return. Double. Just Smiths and Body. Left for the CT side, Legion's going to be punching those digits, and that just shows it was but a blip on the Liquid radar. And they're back to usual programming. It's been a while since you casted CS, right? So now you get to see this is the Liquid that everyone said would win the major.
Right, this is the thing. Like, last time I really casted CS, it was like Liquid were good, and, you know, Jason was waving the flag,
Right.
and it was all exciting.
Things have changed.
They're actually sick.
There is the same level and same air of restraint that you see when you watch the current Astralis.
Yeah, that's
you watch this Liquid, they've got this same kind of poise and the same restraint that makes them so intimidating.
But they've also got some real firepower.
Yeah.
Like, these guys, it's really nice to watch. Like, I feel like we've seen so much scrappy Counter-Strike up until this point where teams are like in, you know, weird states of flux, and, you know, some players aren't there, you know, whatever. And I get to see this, and it's just like, this is the beauty of what Counter-Strike can be. When you see these well-constructed pieces, and keep in mind, of course they want to get in front of a North American audience as well. They're the team that everyone wants to see. Get on that stage.
They've done it every time so far here at ESL One New York, looking for their third. Strut in the Barclays Center. Take a look at the scoreboard. My goodness, Shox just looks like he's in a different
team.
14 kills, 94 ADR. And on the same side of things, I mean, or the opposite side of things, excuse me, Naf. What a performance. I just can't stop singing the man's praises recently. He seems to have found not only form, but form consistently, which is never, ever a guarantee. He seems to have been providing that.
I really like watching him play. Okay, we've got a little something going on here.
Aggressive mid-hold from the CTs. Unlikely to be an anti-strat, more likely to just be a trick.
You say that. You've got two smokes on the T side. I mean, in theory, you should be using them elsewhere, but I don't know. It could still be something interesting coming out.
A CT stack middle Liquid. Maybe this is something they've given the lead they want to experiment with. I mean, it does mean that rotate to B is going to be horrible if the Ts aren't ready for it. But the flashes from Body are actually drawing the entire stack towards A.
Oh,
this is perfect. Nice. This is going to be an open sight on B. And Body, he's done enough. He's been for acting lessons, and oh my goodness, he's an action superstar. Double headshot as well. They're all wondering where that bomb is.
It's a horrible feeling when you get on the side, you're like, all right.
Oh dear. 2 frags as well. Body's almost single-handedly won them that round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick nade and double kill as well. Sweetens the deal.
Really, really well done.
They're here quick though, Lauren. If they hit their shots, it's not...
There is a kill on Taco, right? That's your big one. If he can maybe get this going. They need to kill like now though.
There it is.
All right, Nitro, cool. Follow up, any chance of that? I'm trying to look. It's surely not going to happen. I don't think they can clear out the angles fast. Hello? The body block. So close.
I like the attempt from Liquid. They certainly made something out of nothing. I thought that was a done deal by the time that the entire team was on the wrong bomb site as the bomb went down, but they gave it a good shot.
Yep.
Tested the French, but no, that's the third. And look at this from Body. Not only has he pulled an entire CT side over here, he takes 2 for the courtesy. Great work. 13 though to 3. It's a long road back for G2 to win their map pick. The odds demonstrate that there on the screen.
They are very condemning, aren't they? Very, very polarizing. But there's chances and opportunities yet. If G2 keep playing a good T side, if they just stay robust, there's glimmers of some really nice plays coming out for them. If we see more of that in a consistent manner, great. But then there's even just individuals on Liquid look like they could be doing enough here, but yet to be seen. I'm thoroughly enjoying casting them, so I'm looking forward to what that CT side holds.
Yeah, you wait until we get to see their map pick. I think it was Inferno, if I'm not mistaken.
It is indeed.
A lot of people surprised to see Inferno as Liquid's pick, knowing that it's one of the other maps that G2 are comfortable on. I guess Liquid want to beat them at their own game.
An overpass if required. I feel like that's a bit of an underline here.
I'd love to see overpass though.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
We'd need to see more from Kenny for that to become realistic. 4 frags for 16. Does tag up one. That gun is so
Oh
good.
no, Kenny, what's going
dear.
on?
2 Deagle frags in the kill feed for Liquid. Body looking to recuperate, recover. Nitro's low, cowering in the corner, but Body's going to get caught off guard. This is not pretty. Nitro gets another. Now the numbers favor Liquid, and soon weapons will be scavenged away already. Elijah's got himself a UMP, and actually, I think Existence could get caught off guard here. I don't think he heard the drop give over his own shots.
No, and Shock's about to come up that way as well. Oh, Elijah's done this so quietly. That's so smart. Now, Shox does show his hand. He's left into a big situation. He's standing up to the task, though. 25 seconds, and he still has to get past Nap. Nap only has a Deagle, and Shox, he saves the day for G2 because that was spiraling out of control. How is that?
Shox is the paramedic for G2. It's just like everyone's sitting there bleeding out, and he just runs in and gets them all home safe. Yeah, my gosh. What a save. He manages to make Liquid look a little out of whack. Threw the smoke on Naf as well. Great work. And that brings G2's round home. But look, you know what? That's actually going to make things really difficult for G2. If they fall into the same trap of a couple of Deagle frags, no, maybe not the case this time because the MAC-10s are out. French certainly have an affinity for the SMGs.
Uh-oh, the medic's down.
Oh, with the paramedic down, it's down to Kenny to start finding frags. Only 4 so far in this game. That's his 5th. On the beat. Taco bringing the heat.
Yeet.
Gosh, I sound like a bingo caller. That's 88. 2 fat ladies.
Taco and... They've found kills here, Alex. It's a 2v2.
This is not impossible. Naf has to do something absurd, though, because Nitro, as soon as they get on that site, he just does not win that fight. There's so much time, though. The T's, they don't have to. They probably will. Commit to this. You see that CT? Yeah. It's like a budget Spider-Man.
Spooderman. Spooderman.
Look at his little leg. Yeah, G2 wrapped that one up.
There we go. Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, they've done enough now to make the scoreline look like they haven't just had, you know, been bent over cash. So,
goodness me, that's
13 to
descriptive.
I could go into more detail,
I'd rather you didn't.
13 to 5 though. This is where it starts getting. You get the fight back from Liquid, right? They've got the money now, at least, you know, from losing out a couple of rounds here. Now they need to start working this out because G2, if they start feeling confident, they start working out, you know, the routine that maybe feels comfortable for them, then we really have a game on our hands. But I'm waiting to see it, and look at this aggression. I love this. I love this. I love to see that twist. That was so good. Takes out Shox, Danger Man down, and they've already lost out so much.
But there's without a trace. He just disappears safely. Doesn't have to throw any nades. Doesn't have to hold that position. He's done his job, and an audacious wallbang from Kenny. Trying to control the A main aggression passively, but no. Backing away now, and yep, Twists has left a mark. T side now. Scarpa not interested just yet in the A site. After that early aggression and the loss of their, we called him the paramedic, it's Shox, top of the scoreboard. He's been great. And now they gather towards B. On the receiving end will be Taco, Elige, and Naf. They've got themselves the majority of the CT side over here. And I think Taco is going to be instrumental here. He's got the smoke out just in case the Molotov does arrive. Doesn't look like it's possible. And now, with steps heard, Existence going to get caught out. And a second, the great flash. Look at this. It's all on Kenny. He's already low, 28 points of health. And just like that, another round in the books for Liquid.
Good communication, good teamwork. The flash ready at hand, pops it in towards Checkers. 2 players instantly blind, and you have Taco perfectly set up to punish that. Beautiful work. Kenny left in a somewhat impossible spot. I'd say maybe with an AWP you could see the excitement, you know, I'd still believe. But right now, right here, this is not the round he's going to change. And Liquid get right back on the horse. You've got 4 players alive. You've got money now back. At least with, you know, the repurchase for Taco, he's still okay. They have the rifles. They didn't get a messy round there. So that's what you want to be seeing if you are on the Liquid side here. For G2, things get worrying now. Have we been worked out? Was that our run? Was that all we get given? Hopefully there's more to be seen.
They are just standing there. They look like they've got their hands off their mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
The beauty of a flashbang. And the beauty of Flashdance. Have you seen that movie?
Many years ago.
Yeah. I'm going to give it another rewatch, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Iconic.
Fair enough. Favorite film of all time?
I always say Gladiator, but I don't think it is anymore. It's a good movie.
Oh, it really is, yeah.
But I've seen so many good movies recently. I actually, you know what I'd put up there? Arrival.
Really?
God tier movie.
Huh.
If you're interested in linguistics, I mean, like, I shout a lot of words every day for my job.
Yeah.
It's so fun just to see how languages and, like, communications develop. It's really cool. Recommend it, Arrival, for any of us watching. Spoilers, but yes, in the trailer. That's
I was saying, like, you're like selling it as like a linguistics thing. I'm like, it's got aliens in it and stuff.
But it's not about it. It's a sci-fi movie that's about communication.
It's quite cool.
And communication is going to have to be perfect from G2 on this T side if they want to be able to navigate towards a comeback. And at the moment, looks like their communication said, rush B, no stop.
Well, the nade stopped him. So far. Maybe Taco's going to stop him further.
Solid Molotov means he only has to worry about one angle, and that angle has just got him flashed. They're charging in towards B here. Naf's already taken the first contact and backs away. The CTs, they're doing damage and they're doing it safely. They haven't really had to deal with Taco yet. Kenny does, but the trade is there. Elige patient in vents. Now looking towards sight. He catches existence. Where is the bomb? The bomb hasn't been down. They had them all smoked off. They had them all locked down, and still no bomb plant. Smiths is sitting on the side with a MAC-10, wondering why the bomb's not down. 15 then for Liquid.
Fumble.
Great question. Yeah, that must have got that was the Naf. That must have been Naf's frag. That was the frag from Naf. Took the bomb loose, and no one quite had the presence of mind to grab it during the smokes.
Yep.
That's a tough one. That's tough. That looked good. I mean, when you call a B push, you've managed to get the frag on the checkers play you've been ignoring.
Yep.
Boom, you're on site. It's kind of, that's like 60% of your work done.
Yeah,
the retake's going to
like,
hurt,
yeah,
but you've done half the work already.
Oh, wow.
And this could be the last round of our first map in our last series today. What happened to Elige's health?
That was a tag, I think, from Smiths.
There I am looking at the money, and I miss all the action. Just checking that scoreboard out. God, it is so polarizing.
Yeah.
We'll take a closer look at it once this round concludes, but there is just one standout performance from the G2 side here on map 1. Their choice, of course, and do note, Shox is currently unequipped, no Kevlar, just a Deagle. Existence on the opposite side of things, an AK-47 and full Kev.
Gotta love Kev.
Good lad, isn't he?
Top lad. Top bloke. And we will be seeing... Looks like an A hit, but sadly it's not started well. Existence already gets put down, but the swift response comes in from the B team. The backup team comes swinging in. It's Kenny going out from the door. Sees it in hand. You still have Smiths there with him, but where's the impact? Where's the punch, Alex? It looks like it's already falling flat.
Can he do this one? Towards Naf, it's not to be, it's just a P250 and Liquid. They make it look so damn easy. A solid first half from Liquid made the second half trivial. 13-2 scoreline on the half. A spectacular defensive side from the North American roster, and this is just another day in the office at the moment.
Yeah, it really looks like it. I have missed seeing this sort of Counter-Strike. I love seeing that on Cash. I am just so thrilled by the idea of Inferno now. Bring it on for me. I'm sure the desk has a lot to be said about that. It might prove a couple of their points they brought up early on. So we are going to head to a short break. Do not go too far away if you want to hear those thoughts from the desk and that next map, Inferno.
ESL One New York.